My professor stopped the entire lecture to tell me something I'll never forget. I was always the student who sat in the back row, hood up, barely making eye contact, not because I didn't care, but because anxiety had me convinced I didn't belong in college. 3 panic attacks during my first semester had nearly convinced me to drop out. Dr. Harmon's Montert-Leggett class was particularly intimidating per 300 students in a massive lecture hall, and he had this reputation for calling on random students to answer complex questions. My nightmare scenario: that Tuesday I was even more invisible than usual. The night before, I'd bombed a midterm in another class, and my roommate had told me I should probably just change majors after seeing me struggle through assignments for weeks. Halfway through the lecture on cognitive biases, Dr. Harmon displayed a complex diagram and asked a question about implicit assumptions. The lecture hall went silent. I unconsciously muttered the answer under my breath, not realizing how quiet the room had become. The student in the blue hoodie back row, Dr. Harmon's voice boomed. "Could you repeat that for everyone?" My heart stopped. 300 heads turned toward me. I somehow managed to repeat my answer, voice shaking. Dr. Harmon paused for what felt like eternity. Then, "That is precisely correct, and it's the kind of insight that many practicing psychologists miss." I gave an awkward nod, hoping the attention would shift away, but instead of continuing the lecture, he set down his notes. "You know what's fascinating about expertise," he said, looking directly at me. "It's not about confidence, it's about seeing patterns others miss. I've noticed you never raise your hand, yet your written assignments show remarkable perception. Your brain naturally identifies connections that others study years to recognize. Some of the most brilliant minds in psychology struggled with believing they belonged. The difference between those who made history and those we never heard of wasn't talent. Pert, it was simply who stayed in the room." He picked up his notes and continued the lecture as if nothing had happened. But everything had changed after class. I found a note on my usual seat. "My office hours are Thursdays at 3. I need a research assistant who sees patterns. No confidence required, Parn, just show up." 10 years later, I am a psychology professor myself, and whenever I spot that student in the back row hood up, I remember sometimes the most important thing we can do is tell someone they belong exactly where they are.